From ABC7, live breaking news.
And breaking news right now out of the East Bay, a massive traffic backup. Eastbound Interstate 580 has just reopened near Isabel Avenue in Livermore after being closed for much of the afternoon. Sky 7 was over the area for what the CHP is calling a severe traffic alert, and you can see why from these pictures from Sky 7 over the area. We're told the situation has been peacefully resolved, but the traffic will obviously take some time to return to normal. Drivers are asked to take an alternate route or just postpone your travel for a time until this clears. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. I'm Dan Ashley.
And I'm Karina Nova. We are following more breaking news. Police SWAT teams have shut down a neighborhood in Santa Clara. They're investigating after a fatal shooting and a house fire. The incident was first reported right after 1 p.m. on Enright Avenue.
ABC7 Eyewitness News reporter Dustin Dorsey is live in Santa Clara with more on this. Dustin?
Yeah, Dan and Karina, we're here just a block or so away from where the scene is actually taking place. But as you see, this is very active and very large scene. We just heard from Santa Clara Police a short while ago. We're here on Mallory and Sarah. The actual event took place a block over just off of Scott Boulevard, one of the main thoroughfares here in the city of Santa Clara. We're going to throw it to the skies now, to Sky 7, for a look at what we saw earlier as this fire was taking place. The call for a fire response came in around 12:30 this afternoon. This home that you see on fire, which is a rental, according to some witnesses, but it quickly grew to more. From what we understand just moments ago from a public information officer with Santa Clara Police, when they arrived after that call, they located a victim on the ground suffering from at least one gunshot. There was a fire nearby the scene. That fire now is under control, but they are continuously, actively monitoring that as they're continuing to look out for hot spots and other issues. SWAT is still on scene as part of this large investigation and searching the area. Witnesses that we spoke with told us that two men were in a verbal argument with each other, and that's when they heard shots fired before that blaze went up. And SWAT, Santa Clara Police, expanded the perimeter around 2:30 this afternoon. A group appeared with hats labeled negotiations a block away from the home. Scott Boulevard is completely closed off right now and will likely remain that way, along with streets surrounding the home as well. There is a lot of rumors, thoughts, hearsay from some neighbors at this time right now. We just got the official word right now that they said once again one person has been shot. The fire is under control and the scene and investigation continues here in Santa Clara. We'll have much more later tonight on ABC7 Eyewitness News. For now, we're live in Santa Clara. Dustin Dorsey, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
All right, Dustin, thank you. A lot more we still need to learn from there. Now to a breaking news update out of Oakland. An early morning traffic stop landed 3 people in the hospital, including 2 officers.
ABC7 Eyewitness News reporter Unser Hassan is live in Oakland after just learning new information just a few moments ago. Unser.
Dan and Karina, good afternoon. The Oakland Police Department just wrapped up a press conference about an hour ago. They say the 2 officers that were involved were hospitalized, treated, and have since been released, but didn't get any more details about the extent of their injuries. Here's what we know at this time. Around 3:15 this morning, police initiated a traffic stop in the 1200 block of 9th Avenue. That's about 8 blocks from Lake Merritt. Police did not give specific about why the driver was pulled over, but they say during the stop, officers saw a gun in plain view. The suspect, who's a 21-year-old man from Sacramento, attempted to flee in his car, dragging one officer, pinning a second officer between the suspect's vehicle and a parked car.
Both officers were dragged, and eventually the vehicle crashed next to a parked car, pinning one of the officers between the suspect's vehicle and the parked vehicle. The officer discharged his firearm and struck the driver 1 time.
The police did not say where the man was shot. We're told that additional officers arrived on scene. They performed life-saving measures to assist the suspect until the paramedics arrived. We're told the suspect is in the hospital and in stable condition. Now, as is protocol, the Oakland Police Department and the Alameda County District Attorney's Office will conduct separate investigations. Both officers have been put on paid leave. That's the very latest. Reporting live in Oakland, Ansar Hassan, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Okay, Ansar, thanks very much. Police in San Leandro say officers shot and killed a man who was suffering from a mental health episode after he pointed a gun at them. The shooting happened Thursday evening at the San Leandro Marina boat launch when police conducted a welfare check after a friend called 911. According to police, officers negotiated with the man for several minutes. Investigators say he pointed a gun at officers. That's when he was shot. A witness describes what happened next.
I heard 6 shots, and then I saw the police repeatedly telling him to put his hands up in the window of the car so they could see he didn't have any weapons, so they could give him medical attention. They certainly could have de-escalated this without violence. They certainly could have brought in a dog over to de-escalate potentially.
The man died at the scene. Police say they recovered a gun. 3 officers have been placed on administrative leave. That's standard procedure. The Alameda County District Attorney's Office is investigating the shooting.
New details. A Contra Costa County judge has postponed the arraignment for a 38-year-old man facing 6 felony counts, including murder, attempted murder, kidnapping, and child abuse charges following Tuesday's deadly shooting at a home on Percheron Way in Antioch. Sky 7 was over the scene on Tuesday. Investigators say the suspect shot and killed 1 person and tried to kill 2 others. The deputy district attorney says it was an absolute horrific crime.
Our victim was particularly vulnerable, and it is a very, very awful thing that she had to endure.
Authorities say the suspect left the home and entered a nearby house on Donview Court, where he kidnapped a 65-year-old woman who was caring for a child. Contra Costa County Fire says the crew also responded to a hazardous material situation at the same house that where the man was killed. The suspect is due back in court in 2 weeks.
New developments in the Kristen Smart case. The Cal Poly student vanished in 1996 and has never been seen again. The San Luis Obispo County Sheriff's Office today speaking for the first time since launching a new search at a home tied to the convicted killer. ABC News reporter Jacqueline Lee has the very latest.
Investigators looking for new leads in the murder of Kristen Smart. The 19-year-old college student disappeared in 1996. Today, the San Luis Obispo sheriff saying a search this week at a home connected to her convicted killer is pointing to the possibility of human remains there.
Based on what we're looking at evidence-wise, scientific evidence, that a human remains were there at one time or still there. So we can't call it Kristen, but we think there's evidence to support human remains.
Smart, a student at Cal Poly in 1996, was never seen again after returning from an off-campus party. The last person she was seen with was fellow student Paul Flores, who was convicted of her murder in October 2022. Smart's body has never been found. On Wednesday, authorities executing a search warrant at Paul's mother's home. Investigators, including soil scientists specializing in human decomposition, spending the last 2 days taking samples from the ground.
They put probes into the ground to read the soil under the ground. They take that back to the lab. They analyze what components are in that soil. And because the readings that they identify as strong and possessing human DNA, that's what helps them conclude that they think there might be something there or was there.
Sheriff Ian Parkinson didn't say what prompted the new search, but did say they will keep going.
Until we're done, we're done. And we plan to be there until we can walk away, either finding Kristen or all the evidence we can find and moving to the next step.
Flores maintains his innocence. He has appealed his conviction twice, but the California Supreme Court declined his request for a review of his case. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Now to a breaking news update, and this after a software hack, and Canvas says it is fully back online, but local schools say issues remain and some are hesitant to get back on board. ABC7 Eyewitness News reporter Cameron Bob is live in the newsroom with more. Cameron?
Yeah, Karina, get this. Some schools across the country are actually pushing back final exams because of the timing of this attack. And here at home, Cal State says it's still not fully back on Canvas out of caution, while some UC schools are still reporting issues. Tech experts now saying that Canvas needs to really batten down the hatches. Learning materials are mostly back online Friday, but concern remains.
Everything that we do usually is on Canvas.
All my assignments, projects.
I mean, it's like a forced break, which is nice, but it's also quite annoying because it's like about to be finals.
The online learning platform Canvas was knocked offline Thursday by a cyber attack. Hackers demanding a ransom just days before finals and graduation for many Bay Area schools, including for students and staff at San Francisco State. While they say the system appears to be back to normal, UC Berkeley says some features are still not working. For students trying to graduate, many now hoping the disruption is behind them. Is it kind of a sigh of relief that it appears to have gotten resolved pretty quickly?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely do have things that I did plan to work on today and over the weekend.
Canvas had been hit by a smaller breach last week. The Thursday attack impacted thousands of school systems worldwide. Friday, questions remain about what data may have been exposed.
I have a similar password for all of my stuff, so if they find out one, I'm kind of cooked.
Do you think it's almost time for some companies, some systems to rethink going back to pen and paper?
In this instance, I probably would say no. And the reason for that is platforms like Canvas are enormously powerful when they work.
Zach Henderson is a tech law professor at UCSF. Not only are his colleagues impacted, but he's also studied how hackers are more sophisticated than ever thanks to AI. What's more, ransomware attacks are on the rise, almost 15% year over year, according to the FBI. With more than 3,600 cases reported in 2025 and losses due to ransom topping $32 million.
Does getting successfully attacked one time increase your likelihood of getting attacked again? Unfortunately, yes.
Going forward, Henderson says Canvas needs to tighten security and school systems may rethink what platforms they choose to use.
Are there other tools out there that may actually meet our needs better? I would want to at least have the exploratory conversation.
And some good news, Canvas says there's no reason to believe passwords or social security numbers were leaked. And while the FBI looks into the source, the hackers are still demanding that ransom. They say impacted schools have until end of day May 12th to negotiate a settlement before they say they'll release school data. In the newsroom, Cameron Bopp, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Cameron, thanks very much. Still to come on ABC7 Eyewitness News here at 4. California is one of the states monitoring for hantavirus patients who were on an infected cruise ship.
And how the state of California is taking action today to help new parents across the state.
Plus, cherry season is here early and just in time for Mother's Day.
And this is the weekend for moms. I'm meteorologist Sandia Patel. I'll let you know if the weather will cooperate for those outdoor plans coming right up.
The facts, when pads bunch, they can leak.
That's so real.
Try new Always Flex Foam. It's made with bunch-resistant foam to help prevent leaks. Up to zero bunching, zero leaking. This is no ordinary pad. Switch to new Always Flex Foam.
Before you try drastic measures, try new Olay Regenerist. Upgraded with triple collagen peptides to strengthen cellular bonds from within. For firmer, lifted, more radiant skin. Only Olay.
Tom Steyer didn't become a billionaire by being honest, and his dirty lies about Javier Becerra prove it. The truth is, Tom's scared, because Javier Becerra is actually one of us. Endorsed by immigration rights groups, Javier's fought for our community his entire career. He sued to protect DACA and stood up to Trump and won.
The billionaires, they are coming after me because they're afraid of you. I'm not the richest candidate, but I know how to fight and win.
If you've opened a utility bill lately, you've seen how Jackie Elward's costing us. Because on City Council, Elward's raised our utility rates. She voted to raise sewer rates, voted to increase water rates by 45%. And Elward's energy plan could send gas prices soaring to more than $10 a gallon. But all Elward has to say about it is, you're going to pay now or pay more later. There's no telling what bill she'll raise next. North Bay can't afford Jackie Elward.
If you're living with moderate to severe oligarchy and rising authoritarianism, the economy holds you back. But now there's Shoykot Chakrabarti, so you can change the Democratic Party to better fight Trump. Shoykot Chakrabarti works 24/7 to lower your cost of living and challenge the status quo. Ask your democracy if Shoykot is right for you. Change the party with Chakrabarti. Side effects include taxing the rich, building new housing, investing in transit, safe neighborhoods, and driving Trump crazy.
I'm Shoykot Chakrabarti, and I approve this message.
California needs a fighter.
Not just someone who talks tough, someone who's done it. I've known Katie Porter for years, and when there's a job to do, nothing gets in her way. I've seen her take on big pharma and win, take on the big banks and win, take on Donald Trump and run circles around him. And Katie has never taken a dime of corporate PAC money. Katie Porter is a fighter for working people, and she's the governor California needs.
ABC7 Eyewitness News. Watch wherever you stream.
A major announcement today for new parents in California. Governor Newsom announced a new program that will provide 400 free diapers to every newborn in the state. ABC7 Eyewitness News reporter Zach Fuentes explains what this means for families.
This is what affordability looks like. It's not a slogan, it's a box. It's a box of diapers.
Governor Gavin Newsom, along with officials like San Francisco Mayor Daniel Lurie and California-based nonprofit Baby to Baby, making a major announcement Friday, just before Mother's Day weekend. A program called Golden State Start, created to get newborn babies 400 diapers, believed to be a month's worth, free.
A first-in-the-nation program where we will have the honor of providing hundreds of free diapers to every newborn delivered at a hospital in the state of California.
The program is set to start in the summer. Each participating hospital will give the diapers to families as they're discharged. The state set aside $7.4 million in last year's budget to roll out the initiative. Baby to Baby is the manufacturer.
Baby to Baby built our own diaper manufacturing system, which allows us to produce diapers for 80% less than the retail price and distribute 5 times more.
The plan in this first year is for the program to be offered at about 65 to 75 hospitals that largely serve low-income patients. But Newsom said the initiative has plans to expand.
40 million diapers, as many diapers will be distributed this year as Californians. We'll get to 80 million next year. The goal ultimately is 160 million, but we'll start 25% of the need, get up to 50% of the need next year with the indulgence of the legislature. I've put $12.5 billion into the budget in January that they hopefully will approve to allow us to get to the next phase.
The program at the participating hospitals will be automatic, meaning families don't have to sign up to get the diapers. They will just get them once they are discharged. Now, the governor also said that work is being done to lower the cost of diapers from major brands as well. In San Francisco, Zach Fuentes, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
California just handed down the largest ever Consumer Protection Act penalty in state history. General Motors and the state have agreed to a $12.75 million settlement over alleged privacy violations. The state accuses GM of selling hundreds of thousands of Californians' OnStar location and driving data to 2 data brokers without the consent of consumers. Prosecutors say GM's own privacy policy states this would not be done.
All the places you drive every day, where you drop off your kids at school, where you go to the doctor, where you go to work, where you go to church, where you live. Personal, sensitive data that consumers have the right to control.
In addition to the civil penalties, GM has agreed to delete driver's data within the next 180 days. The automaker also agrees to stop selling the data to brokers. The 2 data brokers who bought the data have also been ordered to delete it.
Record heat in March didn't just break temperature records, it shifted the cherry season in Brentwood, known by many as the U-Pick capital of the world. Families have been going earlier than usual to pick their cherries, and some growers are preparing for the best picking time to be this Mother's Day weekend. ABC7 Eyewitness News' Francis Wang took a trip to the orchards.
If you start pulling these layers back, and then you can see some fruit in here down this branch here.
At the Cherry Pit in Brentwood, California, growing cherries is truly a family affair.
The nutrients kind of continue to feed the cherry as opposed to leaving the stem behind.
Yeah, in the water.
Run by husband and wife Laura and Dustin Diorio, their family orchards date back to the 1800s, with several relatives running neighboring farms.
We have our coral varieties over here and our Santina right here.
Cherry growing is a tedious task, and this year weather has been a part of the story. March's record heat hit later blooming varieties hard.
So when it gets too hot, you actually see some of the blooms start to fail or burn up, you might say, dry out.
Luckily, many of the popular varieties were already forming fruit when the heat wave hit. So growers say some of the best cherries have come early this year.
In March, when that heat wave happened, a lot of our later varieties were in bloom. Thankfully, the corals and our early ones the cherries were starting to form, so they weren't as in danger.
What that means for you is if you'd like to come out for Mother's Day weekend, it really is the perfect time to pick some cherries. Just look how beautiful and juicy these look.
Yeah, try one.
Can confirm they taste great too, but picking them with the stem on is a challenge. The Cherry Pit opened one location last weekend and is welcoming pickers to their second orchard starting this weekend.
Thank you.
Families are already taking advantage.
We're ahead by about 10 days or so, and so this is I would describe it as like the peak time for our best cherry.
Just remember, this year's heat pushed the season forward, great for early pickers, but it also means some later fruit won't be there. The early bird really does get the worm, or in this case, the cherry. In Brentwood, Francis Wang, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Now that looks fun, doesn't it?
Yeah, especially for Mother's Day weekend, right? If mom likes to, you there you go. Pick with mom. That's some good bonding.
Bring some flowers too would be nice. Meteorologist Sandia Patel is here with the forecast, which looks lovely for the weekend.
Oh, it looks gorgeous. You know, no weather extremes, Dan and Karina. For all the moms out there, it is going to be nice looking weather. So let me show you a live picture right now from our Mount Tam Cam, and you will see just a little patch of fog hanging around on the end there. San Francisco, you can see just really beautiful blue sky up above, and we are seeing those temperatures in the comfort range. 59 in the city, 63 in Oakland, 67 right now in San Jose and in Redwood City. There is a breeze along the Embarcadero from our KGO roof camera, as we had expected. Low 70s, Santa Rosa, San Rafael, Napa. Right now 78 in Fairfield, 75 Concord, 72 in Livermore. Winds are onshore, gusting to 31 at SFO. That windy pattern is going to stay with us through the evening. The winds do taper a bit, but tomorrow afternoon they'll pick right back up again. So looking at live Doppler 7, you can see some patches of low clouds still hanging around near the coast. Otherwise, we are a-okay. High pressure is starting to come in closer to us, which means the weekend will feature warmer weather. From our San Jose camera, you can see the sun. Mother's Day weekend, we'll have sunshine, a warming trend early next week. Summer-like weather's coming with the heat risk for those who are sensitive, especially on Monday. Moderate heat risk for parts of the Bay and inland, and midweek we are talking about breezy and cooler days. So let's talk about Mother's Day forecast. Foggy areas in the morning at 7 o'clock Sunday, 40s, 50s, sunnier later in the afternoon. Yes, there will be some patchy clouds hanging around in the afternoon, but some moms do like that. And so it is going to be nice. Mid-60s to the mid-80s, something for everyone. Tonight, if you have Friday night plans, the marine layer will advance by 7:15. Temperatures 50s to 70s. Tomorrow morning, the fog is not going to be quite as widespread. All right, so we'll have some areas of fog. Temperatures will start off in the 40s and 50s. And by the afternoon, it is a warmer day. The warmest locations in the mid-80s. So your morning begins with fog near the coast and just parts of the bay and around some parts of the valleys, but it's not going to be completely socked in like this morning, so we are expecting a change in our pattern. Tomorrow afternoon, 78 in San Jose, 83 Gilroy, 75 in Sunnyvale on the peninsula in Redwood City. Palo Alto 73, low 60s right here near the coast where you'll see partly cloudy skies. 70 in downtown San Francisco, North Bay, mid-80s around Sonoma, Santa Rosa, 78 in San Rafael, 79 Vallejo in the East Bay, 73 Oakland, 75 Fremont, inland areas. It's going to be a warm one. 84 in Fairfield, 82 Livermore, 80 degrees in San Ramon. Here's your AccuWeather 7-day forecast. It's fog and sun, breezy for the upcoming weekend. It's going to be milder for Mother's Day and into Monday before those temperatures start to come down. Around the Bay shoreline, looking nice for the moms. Look at this, mid to upper 70s this weekend, getting up into the 80s on Monday, and then we'll go down in terms of temperatures for a few days. Inland areas, bright and warm. It's going to be warmer tomorrow, and then a holding pattern before Monday. You see summer-like heat with 90s. The good news for those who don't like the heat, Karina and Dan, we are expecting the temperatures to drop off after Monday.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Or you can drive to the coast, right?
Perfect, exactly. We have our microclimates. You're absolutely right,
We have
Karina.
options,
Yes.
Sandia. Thank you.
Well, health officials are weighing in on the hantavirus, how it differs from COVID or the flu. That's next.
Star Wars The Mandalorian and Grogu. Rated PG-13 in theaters May 22nd. Get tickets now.
Scrubbing, bleaching, ever clean.
Not me. I called Bath Fitter.
Creating unnecessary problems.
Not me. I called Bath Fitter. Make the smart move. Call Bath Fitter and save up to $500 in upgrades.
Will Javier Becerra deliver for you? Now the FBI is probing his campaign for embezzlement.
Sacramento shockwaves over this federal indictment.
It's the old playbook. Corporations write the rules and politicians cash the checks. Now powerful interests are getting behind Becerra, who's taken thousands from big oil, then failed to prosecute them.
I need Chevron. Chevron wants to give me a check. That's their prerogative.
Javier Becerra, part of a broken system that delivers for them, not you.
Raised in the shadows of a street named after a dream, where the odds were stacked against him, Michael Tubbs could have run away from his roots, but he didn't. He ran towards them. He defied the odds. He followed that dream. Michael saved Stockton from bankruptcy and revitalized the economy from the bottom up. Now, Michael's running for lieutenant governor to bring his vision and his values to our state. Because when Michael sees a challenge, he runs right at it. He follows his roots.
If you've opened a utility bill lately, you've seen how Jackie Elward's costing us. Because on City Council, Elward's raised our utility rates. She voted to raise sewer rates, voted to increase water rates by 45%. And Elward's energy plan could send gas prices soaring to more than $10 a gallon. But all Elward has to say about it is, you're going to pay now or pay more later. There's no telling what bill she'll raise next. North Bay can't afford Jackie Elward.
Tom Steyer didn't become a billionaire by being honest, and his dirty lies about Javier Becerra prove it. The truth is, Tom's scared, because Javier Becerra is actually one of us. Endorsed by immigration rights groups, Javier's fought for our community his entire career. He sued to protect DACA and stood up to Trump and won.
The billionaires, they are coming after me because they're afraid of you. I'm not the richest candidate, but I know how to fight and win.
16,000 books gone in a blink.
Devastated is not a strong enough word.
A sad story until 7 on Your Side stepped in and got all her books back.
Do you have a consumer problem? 7 on Your Side can help.
Spanish officials have laid out the precautions that they are going to put into place to receive a luxury cruise ship that's been hit with that outbreak of hantavirus.
3 people have died aboard the ship, which will anchor in the Canary Islands this weekend. But locals there are protesting ahead of the arrival.
ABC News reporter Ashan Singh is following the concerns.
The luxury cruise ship at the center of a hantavirus outbreak is set to arrive in the Canary Islands on Sunday. Spanish officials say the passengers and crew will be screened before disembarking and will only be allowed off the ship once their aircraft to take them to their final destinations is ready to take off. The State Department says it's working to arrange a repatriation flight for the 17 Americans still on board that ship, and the CDC is sending personnel to escort the Americans to the National Quarantine Unit in Nebraska. Health experts say there is very little risk to the general public, and hantavirus is not as easily transmitted as COVID or the flu.
With the Andes strain, it can be spread from human to human transmission. Important caveat, this really takes close contact. This takes a prolonged amount of time being with someone in an isolated space. It doesn't spread as easily as other airborne viruses or as rapidly as well.
Sources say the CDC has classified the hantavirus outbreak as a level 3 emergency response, meaning the risk to the general public remains low, but is being closely monitored. Doctors say patients infected with the virus receive supportive care as there is no curative treatment. Symptoms include coughing and shortness of breath, fatigue, fever, muscle aches, as well as vomiting, diarrhea, and abdominal pain.
This strain of hantavirus, what it does is it damages the blood vessels around the lung, causing that the lungs, the air sacs, to basically fill with fluid. And that impairs oxygenation and can lead people to have respiratory failure.
And health officials are monitoring at least 9 Americans from 6 states. 7 were passengers on the ship, and 2 from New Jersey were potentially exposed to an infected cruise passenger on a flight. So far, none is experiencing any symptoms. Ashan Singh, ABC News, New York.
More to come here. San Francisco police have been using drones, as you know, to solve crimes. Coming up next, we have a look at where they're being sent the most and why.
And a traffic alert as construction work causes issues on the roads. We'll look at the places to avoid through the weekend.
reached our last quarterfinal.
So excited.
One step closer to the $1 million prize.
What is live long and prosper?
What is crypto?
If my father hugged me once, I wouldn't have to do any of this.
Celebrity Jeopardy All-Stars, new tonight on ABC.
Get moving towards better sleep at Mancini's Sleep World Memorial Day sale. Save up to $1,200 on select mattresses like Beauty Sleep Queen mattresses starting at just $299. Only at
Mancini Sleep World. Rest easy.
Let's stick it to Trump.
That's billionaire Tom Steyer trying to sell voters that he's definitely not like Donald Trump. But the real Tom Steyer is a different story. Steyer invested in Trump's casinos. That's right. Steyer bet big on the Trump Taj Mahal, along with private prisons, coal mines, and tobacco, all while stashing the profits in the Cayman Islands to dodge taxes.
Me paying more taxes is not the answer.
So when Steyer sells himself as a different kind of billionaire, tell him where to stick it.
I'm honored to endorse Josh Friday,
the former Navy lieutenant for lieutenant governor.
We entrusted Josh to build
the largest volunteer force in the country.
He gets things done. Josh Friday for lieutenant governor.
Washington stopped working for us a long time ago. Here in California, I capped insulin at $35. In Congress, I'll pass Medicare for all. I streamlined building tens of thousands of homes. I'll lead the movement to lower rents and restore the dream of home ownership. I banned ICE thugs from hiding behind masks. So you know I'll never stop fighting the dictator in the White House. I'm Scott Wiener, and I approve this message to make government work for us again.
This building sat empty for nearly a decade. Where some saw a problem, I saw an opportunity. I made it easier to build the housing people need. And now, over 100 new families will call this place home. As mayor, we've built thousands of homes people can afford and reduced homelessness by 1/3. Anyone who says the housing crisis can't be solved isn't trying hard enough. When we change our perspective, we can change our future.
Back to our breaking news out of the East Bay. Here's a live look from Sky 7, where all eastbound lanes on 580 and Livermore are back open, but traffic is still moving very slowly, as you would expect after a backup like this. There was police activity earlier near Isabel Avenue. The CHP called it a severe traffic alert, and it certainly was severe in terms of the impact on drivers.
After voters approved Measure E, San Francisco police rolled out their drone program in 2024. But what's happening in the skies above the city is only now coming into focus.
Yeah, that's right. ABC7 Eyewitness News gained rare access, actually, inside the program, and our data team has uncovered details showing exactly where these drones are being sent and why.
Building a Better Bay Area reporter Leanne Melendez is here to tell us what she found. Leanne?
Well, we found, and something that we knew, was that they're really relying on these drones to solve crimes.
More and more. Right?
More, yeah. Exactly. So this is information that San Francisco police have, and we were able to put together, summarize it, and make sense of what's happening. Now, we wanted to know which neighborhoods are being targeted and what are the reasons to deploy these drones. But what was most revealing was the number of drones that are being deployed on a monthly basis.
Being inside the real-time investigation center helped us to understand how police in San Francisco are using technology to assist officers out in the field.
Maintaining westbound.
Last March, ABC7 Eyewitness News was allowed in to see how, from this center, an operator contacts and controls the drone, which takes off from the roof of one of many buildings. In all, there are 80 police drones.
There's like a motorcycle right in front of it, but it's number 4 lane.
A call had come in about a white minivan which was reported stolen.
So far, I can only see a driver.
The drone followed the driver for several blocks until the person parked the vehicle, and undercover officers in an unmarked car stepped in after a description from the center.
We had a very hard-working force that was out there, and now all you've done is give them the best tools that we have, and they're still they're hitting their stride.
The department says videos are made and posted on social media to show San Franciscans that drones are effective in fighting certain crimes. Overall, crime in San Francisco is down significantly.
San Francisco police officers with the citywide plainclothes team began surveillance on a purple Dodge Challenger
suspected in a series of auto burglaries. Officers saw a man in a black ski mask exit the car and head toward a school on the 1300 block of 7th Avenue, with a drone unit assisting overhead.
Now we know more about how the drones are being deployed and used. The ABC7 data journalism team dug into police department flight records, and you might be surprised at what they found. First, there's been a noticeable uptick in the number of surveillance flights since the program started in 2024, jumping from about 100 flights per month, then increasing sharply in September 2025, and early this year to more than 600 a month.
It's going to be going westbound.
Officer Postboe Joyo then observed the suspect, who believed they had outmaneuvered the marked patrol unit, park and exit the vehicle.
Blue jeans on, white shoes, he's put a big jacket on, he's going eastbound towards Pine.
Officers O'Keefe and Dudum then immediately arrived and placed the suspect under arrest without incident.
Our analysis showed us the crimes the SFPD is flying over as well, topping the list stolen vehicles, followed by robbery, burglary, a person with a gun, auto burglary, and others. The data team also found drone surveillance flights were largely concentrated in 3 neighborhoods: the Mission, south of Market, and the Tenderloin. This is what Lieutenant Scott Ryan told us last March about one of the goals of the program.
We're absolutely using that as a message to send out that if you come here to San Francisco, you're going to get held responsible for what you're doing, that we're not going to put up with it.
Now, of course, people have raised privacy concerns. Now the footage from a drone has to be erased within 30 days unless it is linked to a criminal investigation. I think what I found most interesting is that we've known for several years now that police don't chase vehicles at a high speed. It's dangerous. And before we used to think, well, they escaped. Right. Not anymore.
Right. Thanks to
the drones follow them.
We've seen specific incidents of that recently.
Right.
All right. Thanks very much, Leanne.
In the East Bay, the Berkeley City Council voted to renew its contract for the controversial flock license plate reading safety cameras. However, they decided not to expand the flock system. Berkeley joins other East Bay cities, including Oakland and Richmond, in continuing their contracts with flock.
Happening now, the latest phase of a major repaving project in San Francisco is underway. Southbound 19th Avenue is closed from Lincoln Way to Sloat Boulevard. The shutdown is expected to last through Monday at 5 a.m., reopened in time for the morning commute. One lane will stay open for public transit and emergency vehicles, just in case. Drivers are urged to use the Great Highway and Sunset Boulevard to avoid the delays. This is the second of 3 planned closures to get this work done. The third closure is planned for the weekend of May 22nd in both the north and southbound directions, but for a shorter stretch of the roadway.
Also happening now, a new campaign is underway to educate e-scooter riders on safety, parking, and riding responsibly in San Francisco. Lime employees, or so-called parking wardens, are patrolling the Embarcadero and near the Caltrain station, offering proper guidance and rewarding riders who follow the rules. The parking wardens are also reminding e-scooter riders to use the bike lanes and stay off sidewalks. The rewards include ride credits.
Still ahead, we're following the situation in the Middle East as the U.S. and Iran exchange fire near the Strait of Hormuz. And we'll explain the so-called blue dot fever impacting concerts across the world.
Thanks for sharing. Who's next?
I feel I don't really understand when it's appropriate to hit reply or reply all.
We've all been there.
I stay awake at night worrying that my security service isn't cutting it. I feel so vulnerable.
I couldn't help overhearing your security insecurity. Bailarm is your all-in-one partner for security and life safety. And with best-in-class technology and local service, you can rest easy knowing everything is secure.
I can finally sleep
like a baby.
Tom Steyer didn't become a billionaire by being honest, and his dirty lies about Javier Becerra prove it. The truth is, Tom's scared, because Javier Becerra is actually one of us. Endorsed by immigration rights groups, Javier's fought for our community his entire career. He sued to protect DACA and stood up to Trump and won.
The billionaires, they are coming after me because they're afraid of you. I'm not the richest candidate, but I know how to fight and win.
If you've opened a utility bill lately, you've seen how Jackie Elward's costing us. Because on City Council, Elward's raised our utility rates. She voted to raise sewer rates, voted to increase water rates by 45%. And Elward's energy plan could send gas prices soaring to more than $10 a gallon. But all Elward has to say about it is, you're going to pay now or pay more later. There's no telling what bill she'll raise next. North Bay can't afford Jackie Elward.
My father grew up under Nazi occupation and the Civil War. He taught me you can't negotiate with cruelty. You have to fight back. My name is Eleni Kounalakis. You can call me Eleni. As treasurer, I'll stand up to Trump's hateful agenda, defend our coasts against oil drilling, and take on Trump's attacks on our colleges. Because this is the moment our kids and our communities need us to fight.
Eleni Kounalakis for state treasurer.
The reason I'm running for governor, I want to represent working Californians and stand up to the corporate special interests that have been screwing people across this state forever. And the number one problem that people have in California is the end of the month, people can't make the numbers work. And that's housing, it's electricity, it's gas prices, it's food prices, and it's healthcare. Every time people say you can't do it, that's what I want to do. So let's get to it.
The Devil Wears Prada 2, rated PG-13.
We are following breaking news out of Santa Clara, where police say a person has been shot and killed. This is a live look from Sky 7 over the scene there on Enright Avenue near Sarah Avenue. Police SWAT teams shut down the neighborhood since they were first called out just after 1 o'clock this afternoon. Sky 7 captured footage of a house on fire and officers with guns drawn.
To the war with Iran, the U.S. says oil tankers were trying to evade the ongoing blockade in the Strait of Hormuz, meant to squeeze Iran's economy. This video, shared today by U.S. Central Command, shows 2 Iranian-flagged ships up in smoke near the Strait of Hormuz. It follows back-and-forth airstrikes in the region. Central Command says it struck Iran's ports yesterday after Iran launched missiles and drones aimed at U.S. forces.
Oh, the red line is clear. If they threaten Americans, they're going to get blown up. I mean, that's how much clearer can you be than that?
Meanwhile, Iran has not formally responded to the U.S. proposal for a short-term agreement to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. According to officials familiar with the proposal, the U.S. would end its blockade near the strait in exchange for Iran lifting restrictions there to help move some of the 1,500 ships currently stuck in all of this. The war in Iran continues to affect how much drivers are paying at the pump. You know this firsthand. Fuel prices in the Bay Area remain about the same from yesterday, with a gallon of regular gas averaging $6.36. Gas prices statewide are averaging about $6.16 per gallon, and the national average for a gallon of regular is up as well, but much lower than what we pay, $4.55.
Today's government jobs report shows the U.S. economy added 115,000 jobs in April. That number marked an expected slowdown from jobs added in March. However, it was still significantly more than the 65,000 the analysts were predicting. The Bureau of Labor Statistics also says the unemployment rate remains steady at 4.3%.
Music fans have a new term for the recent rash of canceled shows and concert tours. They're calling it Blue Dot Fever. That's a reference to the blue color used to mark unsold seats on Ticketmaster's website. Post Malone, Jelly Roll, the Pussycat Dolls, and Meghan Trainor are among the artists who cancel shows or make schedule changes this year. Some fans have speculated that the cancellations and changes are actually due to weak demand rather than the reasons many artists have cited. The average concert ticket price is now $144, way up from $115 just last year.
The National Retail Federation is estimating that Americans will spend a record $38 billion on Mother's Day this year. Nearly 75% of people will be buying flowers and cards. Special outings, gift cards, clothing, and jewelry are also some popular gifts. Shopping experts say that there are still plenty of sales to look out for on traditional Mother's Day favorites.
The thing that moms want the most is time to do something for themselves. And so really thinking about the mom that you're buying for, maybe you take care of the chores that she would have done that day, and it's kind of easy. You can make her a card to kind of demonstrate that you're going to do that.
Shopping experts also recommend looking at experiences for gifts like concerts, sporting events, or outdoor activities. So lots of options.
Just
for moms.
Great for moms like yourself. Happy Mother's Day to you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, stay with us. We'll be right back.
We're back now with ABC Secret Savings, and Will is back with Spring Fever savings on what you need to embrace this season.
That's why you kept that flower tie on.
I
exactly.
see.
Yeah.
It's also just a very cute tie, Gio. This bag has your name written all over it, literally. These are beautiful, made-to-order, personalized bags from Tiana Designs. You can choose your tote, then add a personalized, hand-beaded touch. We've also got waterproof vinyl cosmetic bags for your toiletries with an embroidered monogram option as well. How cute is that? Today you'll save 30% plus free shipping.
Really nice beadings.
Yeah, I love the patterns, the
Make
colors.
me one next time, all right?
All right,
yeah, it doesn't have our name.
All right, after our 20s, our scalp's root system begins to weaken as elastin production slows. That will leave your hair thinner, weaker, and more prone to shedding and loss. Enter New-Lastin. Yes, their Elastiplex technology helps nurture the root, and it's all designed to be used all together as a system. Scalp scrub, shampoo and conditioner, and scalp treatment for fuller, thicker, healthier looking hair. It takes 2 months of consistent use for visible results that you'll see and you'll feel. We also have their popular lash and brow serums. Everything 40 to 50% off on our site right now. All right, last but not least, go for radiant skin with SolarWave. We have Eye Recovery Pro. It's going to target signs of aging around your eyes with 3-minute sessions using 4 wavelengths to help visibly brighten the dark circles and bags under your eyes, reduce puffiness. And don't just stop at your face. We also have the neck and chest mask as well.
Right here.
Yes, prices slashed in half right now, plus free shipping.
That's so good. Thank you, Will, and thank you to these great brands and more, the 20 additional ones that are live right now on our ABC Secret Savings specials for May. You can check out all of these huge savings by scanning the QR code right there on your screen or going to abcsecretsavings.com. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
What does a win sound like? Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes it shouts. Sometimes it throws its head back and laughs. And while some wins fade, some ring on forever. Cash in at Cash Creek Casino Resort.
If you've opened a utility bill lately, you've seen how Jackie Elward's costing us. Because on City Council, Elward's raised our utility rates. She voted to raise sewer rates, voted to increase water rates by 45%. And Elward's energy plan could send gas prices soaring to more than $10 a gallon. But all Elward has to say about it is, you're going to pay now or pay more later. There's no telling what bill she'll raise next. North Bay can't afford Jackie Elward.
I'm a lifelong San Franciscan and business owner who's been fighting for common sense leadership since I led the recall of Chesa Boudin. In Congress, I'll defend Social Security and Medicare and oppose cuts to Medicaid. With high costs squeezing families, I'll fight for relief from rising electric bills, groceries, and rents, and support an affordable public health care option. And I'll continue to advocate for the police and first responders who keep us safe. You deserve common sense leadership. I'm Marie Harabiel, and I approve this message.
Tom Steyer made millions off of imprisoning immigrants. Now he's spending millions lying about Javier Becerra. Becerra never lost children. He got them out of Trump's cages. As California Attorney General, Becerra sued Trump 122 times, blocking ICE overreach, defending dreamers, and winning in court for California families. As governor, he'll do it again, standing up to Trump, unmasking ICE, and demanding California law comes first. Javier Becerra's got California's back.
Hi, I'm Nancy Chen with ABC7 Mornings. Join us for these events around the Bay.
Check out the annual San Francisco Decorator Showcase. Experience how top designers have transformed a Pacific Heights mansion into this year's showcase home.
and celebrate Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. Explore events all over San Francisco with the online celebration guide at apasf.org. Find details at abc7news.com/community.
Researchers at Stanford are part of an ambitious project to capture a dangerous greenhouse gas by harnessing a process that occurs around the globe.
ABC7 Eyewitness News weather anchor Spencer Christian digs into their strategy.
For decades, researchers have chased futuristic technologies to sequester the dangerous greenhouse gas CO2, or carbon dioxide. But now, instead of looking to the future, a team launched at Stanford's Dorr School of Sustainability is returning to the Stone Age.
So you can imagine this was originally a large rock boulder, and you ultimately crush it up into spine boulders and ultimately into this really, really fine powder here.
Stanford grad James Knopf is showing off the crushed remains from a pulverized boulder, a powder that he and his partners at a new startup called Pterodot are deploying to transform natural CO2 and carry it into the soil and watershed.
We take rocks that naturally remove carbon over really, really long time periods, and we crush them up to create a powder and spread them on farmland to make them remove carbon in years instead of millennia.
He says the technology known as enhanced rock weathering actually accelerates a process that occurs naturally. That's when storms and moisture slowly dissolve certain rock formations over thousands of years, forming a chemical reaction that binds with CO2 in the atmosphere and ultimately washes down into the ocean.
That's naturally happening every single year. And so all Pterodot is doing is speeding up that natural process by taking those same rocks, crush them up to speed up that reaction, and ultimately, again, remove carbon instead of over 100,000 years, they remove it in just like 3 to 5.
To develop the technology, Knopf teamed up with Stanford researcher Scott Findorf. We recently profiled Professor Findorf's work here on ABC7, tracing the path of dangerous compounds formed in the soil during intense wildfires. But Findorf, who is also a founder of Pterodot, says in this case, the idea is to use the soil to remove a dangerous pollutant.
Think of it as just a fine little powder that gets sprinkled over the top of the soil. It's not a deep layer. It's just a fine little veneer of rock that then gets turned into the soil.
With help from backers including Google and Microsoft, the Pterodot team is now testing the rock powder concept in a large farming region in Brazil. The goal is to precisely measure and document its effectiveness at sequestering CO2 and eventually expand the technology globally.
There are different companies that are interested in doing this, getting ready for what might become a dependent market, but we have a lot of investors that are really interested in making a difference in the climate world.
We need to deliver billions of tons of carbon removal in order to actually help stabilize Earth's climate. That's the scale that we're talking about.
At the Stanford Dorr School of Sustainability, Spencer Christian, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
It's fascinating. Good luck with that project. That'd be great.
Yeah. All right. It's Friday. The weekend is here. Mother's Day weekend. So a lot of people are looking at the forecast.
Yeah, and meteorologist Sandy Patel is tracking it closely for both days, especially Mother's Day, Sandy.
That's right, Dan and Karina. And the weather looks fantastic for Mother's Day weekend. I do want to show you a live picture from our Emeryville camera. You can see there is a little bit of fog, a lot of sun up above, and tomorrow you're going to have similar weather, except the temperatures are going up. Breezy coastside, low 60s at the beaches, all the way to the mid-80s inland, sunshine from bay to inland, even parts of the coast. Now, Monday, it's going to get hotter, so moderate heat risk for parts of the bay and inland, shaded in orange. If you're sensitive, this is where you need to watch out. Here's a look at the AccuWeather 7-day forecast, and really, it's going to be nice along the coast, low to mid-60s, a little warmer on Monday around the bay shoreline. We are expecting mid to upper 70s, nice for moms, and the warming continues on Monday, and as we head into our inland areas, it's going to be a warm Mother's Day, up to the low 90s on Monday, so summer-like heat coming, but those temperatures do trend lower Tuesday, Wednesday, before coming back up again. So, Karina, I want to wish you a happy Mother's Day. We'll be right back after the break.
I'm Katie Porter, and I'm not like most people who run for governor. I actually get what you're going through. A single mom of 3 kids, I know what it's like to push the shopping cart. My minivan has almost 200,000 miles. I have a grown kid who may soon be living on my couch. To give Californians what they need, it's going to take standing up to Donald Trump, calling out greedy corporations, and stepping on some toes along the way. Now, could you guys please get out of my shot?
Did you know about 1 in 3 people with plaque psoriasis may also develop psoriatic arthritis? With fewer symptoms from moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, where would you go? Imagine being a million miles away. With Tremfya, clearer skin is possible. And for adults with active psoriatic arthritis, Tremfya goes beyond the skin. Less joint pain, stiffness, and swelling is possible. And Tremfya even reduced fatigue. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and TB. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Imagine being a million miles away. Ask your doctor about Tremfya.
Some politicians are impossible to trust. Tom Steyer is a different story. Progressives like me trust Tom because he's been on the front lines with us for over a decade. He organized with us against big oil when they tried to pollute our air and water. Tom made big corporations pay their fair share, securing billions for clean energy projects in schools. Now, Tom's the candidate who will beat the corporate interests who are making your life unaffordable. Tom Steyer, a progressive governor you can trust.
When you wake up to breaking news, we're there live.
The highway is still impacted.
You can expect major delays on your commute this morning.
When extreme weather threatens the Bay Area, I'm right here tracking it. High pressure still.
When a big story is happening now, we're on it, covering the local impact. Wherever you are, wherever you watch.
Start your day prepared.
Start your day with us.
Start your day with Nancy, Amanda, Drew, and Liz on ABC7 Mornings.
For many Native American communities, the land isn't just history. It's still a living source of food, culture, and tradition. Along the Northern California coast, tribal members are foraging the same places their ancestors once did, keeping their history alive by foraging.
And so before we gather, we should do a little prayer, a little blessing, so we can thank the earth for providing even during these hard times.
Before gathering anything from the land, there's a pause, a prayer, a moment of gratitude for what nature provides, and a reminder that taking food also means giving respect.
We came out here today to kind of just show you guys a little bit about our homeland and the abundance that's out here in the natural world. The land still does have a lot to give if we take care of it.
Dylan Williams is a coastal Pomo. He says land stewardship isn't just about preservation. It's about restoring the abundance indigenous people depended on for generations.
Abalone and the red abalones and the whites, but it has that beautiful, like, pearlescent rainbow sheen.
Some of what's gathered isn't eaten at all.
Our jewelry and stuff, we really like to incorporate abalone.
Broken abalone shells are turned into jewelry and ceremonial regalia, connecting food, art, and identity.
Indian bling.
But knowing what not to take is just as important.
One thing that we really don't do a lot as a culture in America is everything is meant to be fully harvested. The whole field has to go. Everything has to go, where you don't really leave anything behind. The reason why these things are still here is because people always left stuff behind.
That principle follows Williams from the coast to the forest.
My ancestors were gathering here, and we still gather from here. Today we're getting bay nuts.
Bay nuts grow on trees many people walk past every day. Most people are unaware they're edible.
And you can eat the interior. It tastes like an avocado. So see, it's like a little baby avocado. So after we've harvested them, dried them out, let them sit for a while to cure, then we can roast them, and this is where you get the nut.
Once roasted, the nut inside is protein-rich and provides natural energy.
Yeah, tastes like a peanut, like a roast peanut. It's really strange how many native food types there are that no one knows about.
Food isn't the only thing gathered from the land.
The nice thing about elderberry is it's very, very, very soft core. And so you can core it really easy and just pick the pith out.
Native plants are used to create instruments.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, I love that sound. It just reminds me of ceremony. Reminds me of being in, gathering with our people. Always good times.
Incorporating the world around them into their everyday lives for generations. William says these traditions are living practices, not just relics of the past.
Well, bay smell, it's super potent smell. Just reminds me of childhood. I love it. Reminds me of climbing trees.
ABC7 Eyewitness News at 5 is next.
When the fires hit, Ben Allen showed up.
And he didn't leave until we got what we were owed.
He did not stop until our insurance claims were paid.
Senators Alex Padilla and Adam Schiff endorsed Ben Allen for insurance commissioner because they know he'll hold insurance companies accountable to bring down costs of premiums.
California shouldn't have to fight with insurance companies just to rebuild their lives. As your insurance commissioner, I'll put people first.
Ben Allen for insurance commissioner.
Tom Steyer didn't become a billionaire by being honest, and his dirty lies about Javier Becerra prove it. The truth is, Tom's scared, because Javier Becerra is actually one of us. Endorsed by immigration rights groups, Javier's fought for our community his entire career. He sued to protect DACA and stood up to Trump and won.
The billionaires, they are coming after me because they're afraid of you. I'm not the richest candidate, but I know how to fight and win.